As the chair indicated, I'd like to talk about item number 7. The Capital Region's growth management strategy is built on 4 guiding principles, which are sustainability, appropriateness, continuity, and cooperation, collaboration, and coordination. I'd like to focus today on the first 2 principles, which are sustainability and appropriateness. Sustainability in the regional growth strategy essentially is defined as make sure decisions made now meet future needs so that the future generations are not compromised. I feel that the current proposed plan for secondary treatment of sewage in the capital region at McLouglin Point doesn't meet the first core principles of sustainability within the capital region's growth strategy. And I'd just like to bring out several points which support this. The current design at McLouglin Point sewage plant will result in it being at full capacity in 12 years, or 12 years after it's built, which is by 2030. Since the McLouglin site is too small for expansion, a new sewage plant and site will have to be found at this time. Considering the timelines for the current plan, the process will have to begin once the new plant is constructed, which is in 2018. An expert panel, as many of the previous speakers have commented on, recommended that a site large enough for expansion be chosen for the proposed sewage plant. This panel suggested a location that would have cost less in the long run and being far more sustainable. Yet the CRD decided on the current plan knowing it could reduce current costs and defer subsequent expansion to a new plant, knowing that this would be more expensive for future generations. Again, so much for sustainability. Sustainability also means being wise in the use of resources. A more sustainable sewage plan would have been a much more decentralized system of several dozen smaller, innocuous plants distributed throughout the CRD and efficiently recovering heat from sewage. This is essentially the dockside green model, which we all know and works so well. The proposed centralized sewage plan and the location of the McLouglin plant far from any development means that very little heat energy recovered from the sewage water can be efficiently utilized. Furthermore, the small site at McLouglin Point means that the concentrated sludge will then have to be pumped to another site for digestion, again losing efficiencies. Even if the CRD were to still push for a centralized model, this expert panel that I mentioned earlier indicated that a location where there was ample room for expansion, together with the ability to plan new development around the sewage plant site to efficiently utilize resource recovery and properly buffer the plant from development, was far more preferable than the current site. They suggested a location, the old gravel pits. We are currently trying to retrofit a sewage plant to a neighborhood that wasn't designed for its future construction, not a very appropriate location or solution. So this brings me to my last point about appropriateness. Because the McLouglin Point site is too small to house all the secondary sewage facilities, the sludge digester plant must be located elsewhere. As we know, there are 2 proposed sites, the Heartland Land Facility and a piece of property in the Viewfield Road area of Esquimalt. The Viewfield Road location is totally inappropriate due to its location near residences, schools, grocery stores, and other businesses. You're essentially retrofitting an industrial complex into that area. It is difficult to allow the siting of the secondary sewage plant at McLouglin Point, knowing full well that this would force the sludge plant to potentially be placed in the Viewfield Road area, and which would be totally contrary to the second guiding principle of appropriateness. In conclusion then, since the siting of the secondary sewage plant at McLouglin does not fit the two of the 4 guiding principles of the regional growth strategy, I urge you to reconsider this and ask the CRD to go back and review the current plan so that it fits better with the regional growth strategy. Thank you very much.